So today we're going to look at internal hip rotation. It's really important in our swing. We do it on both sides at different points in the swing. So a PGA Tour player would have at least 45 degrees of internal hip rotation on each side, if not a bit more. If you struggle with your internal hip rotation, it could mean you end up swaying or sliding a little bit in your swing as you're not being able to rotate with the hips in the right way. So I'm going to give you some exercises which should help you. So let's get started. So we're going to start really simple. I put my hands across here and then I'm going to bring my knee up and across, and I'm sort of aiming to reach it towards this elbow. So you're going across the midline and internally rotating through that hip. So we're just bringing it across there and then up to there. And really try and pull that hip across. I would typically do about 20 of these, so 10 on each side, but alternating as you go. So next up, we're going to go into a squat position. You might want your feet a touch wider, so shoulder width or just outside shoulder width. And what we're going to do is we're going to take one knee and we're going to rotate it in and drop it down towards the floor. So we're internally rotating that hip. So we're going to start here and then we're going to rotate down and then stand back up to there. So we're rotating that hip in and then standing back up. So I'll just show you on the other side as well. Rotate down and then back up. And I would do 8 to 10 of these on each side. So next up, if you grab yourself a medicine ball, it doesn't necessarily need to be any particular weight, obviously light because you don't want it to crush your lower leg. And then we're going to put it in between your knees here. And then, just holding that secure there, we're then just going to internally rotate there and then back down. I'll go 8 to 10 on one side and then 8 to 10 switch onto the other side and then do the other side as well. You can alternatively, something very similar is if you lay onto your front here and bring your foot up here, we could then do this exercise where we're internally rotating. Very similar move. So if you struggle to hold the ball in place, you could try the one where you're lying on your front. Once again, I would do 8 to 10 on each side. So next up, staying down on the floor, I often do a 90-90 stretch where we're sort of doing these with my clients going from one side to the other, which is good for external and internal hip rotation. But if you want to focus just purely on the internal, you can sit with your legs sort of wide like this, and then what we're going to do is you can focus on one leg at a time and just rotate it inwards there. And just doing this sort of 10 to 15 times on each side. Obviously, if you can't get as far as I am, only go as far as you can without sort of feeling any pain, okay? So it's just meant to maybe stretch a little bit, but we don't want you to be in pain. And then obviously you would do the other side as well. And then next up, we are going into a half kneeling position here. And you can once again do this with the external and internal hip rotation. We're just going to be focused on just coming across the midline. So either hands here or you can have your hands across there. Try and keep your chest pointing forwards and just push across there and then step back to the beginning and really try and step across. Keep that chest pointing forwards and really work it across, and you can try and step a little bit further each time with that. Once I've done one side, I would obviously then switch to the other leg and do the other side. Sort of 8 to 10 on each side. So last up, we have an exercise a little bit similar to the one of the first ones we did, where we were twisting in and dropping the knee down. So if you get a box, I wouldn't go too high, probably wouldn't go any higher than this. And then it's almost like a Bulgarian split squat, but we're going to twist and have some internal rotation with it. So from here, we're going to twist down, internally rotate, drop the knee down, and then stand back up. twist. And I would typically do 8 to 10 on this side, and then I would obviously go to the other side or turn around and do the other side as well. So there's some exercises to help you with your internal hip rotation. Give them a go. I hope they help you. If you like this video, you can look at some of my other fitness videos on the Precision Golf YouTube channel. Hit the like, subscribe, and you won't miss any more. And I'll see you again next week.